I've been adequately prepared for this level of business that I am.
What is business?
It's not a charity. It's a business.
You're speaking like you're dead.
I got power. I got the energy for all of my enemies. I'm on the way of saving the day.
What do you think that people are doing wrong in the business space?
This is Tinashe Mtarisi, a self-made millionaire, and this is his son, Tinashe Mtarisi Jr., an 18-year-old who is now running this food outlet called Foodies. Today I sit down with Tinashe, asking him about business, why he chose this side of business. A huge number of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you love my videos, please consider subscribing and let's have 2k likes on this video. This video is sponsored by my ground crew. More of it later in the video.
Yeah, we love the work you're doing. What you're just going for is the picture quality, which is good.
Thank you.
Look at Mr. Beast, he goes for quality.
Oh, you watch Mr. Beast?
as well. I know you're the next big thing. It's about.
Thank you,
You
bro.
just keep on pushing because I'm seeing the quality, man. It's just amazing.
Thank you so much.
The sound and everything.
Thank you so much, Dad. People are always going to talk about nepotism when they look at you and you're dead. I'm doing my own thing, so I'm trying to push.
160,000 is crazy.
It's kind of scary, especially if it was me to start a business like this and expected this kind of numbers.
Yeah.
But in your case with your dad, you guys have mastered the art of business.
From a very young age, I've stepped into the business world. I've tried to learn,
Yeah.
obviously following the footsteps of my dad.
Was there a time that he told you, look, you're supposed to follow my footsteps and do what I do?
No. It's always been him living his life and just showing me what he does. And then I've found the interest in what he does.
Oh.
He's explained to all of us, I've got a lot of siblings. He's explained to all of us that whatever you do, we can incorporate it into the family business. If you decide to become a doctor,
Yeah.
it's going to be very simple. You just open your own clinic and you decide to follow that path. So it's never been a situation where he said you're going to follow the business path. But once I showed interest into it,
Yeah.
that's when he started grooming me for this position. Yeah.
So where did the idea of starting something like this come from?
The idea for starting something like this was creating a sort of informal space where
Yeah.
everyone who's interacted with Nash Paints or Nash Furnitures or anything to do with the Mtarisis can just come and relax. Not like an office like Nash Paints where you know that you've come there for business.
Yeah.
You're coming to buy 2 liters of paint and you're going out. But this space is a communal space where you can just come, go on your laptop, sit for 2 hours, go. I'm here a lot.
Exactly.
So we talk, we discuss. He comes here quite often. So it's a very, relaxed space where people can meet. That's where the idea came from. Just to find a space where, people can hang out.
And how long did it take for you guys to implement something like this?
2023.
2023?
Yeah, around mid-2023 is when the idea came about. And late 2023 is when we actually started implementing. This entire building was a Nash Paints before. It's a different style from a lot of things you see.
Exactly.
So we're trying to really, find inspiration from external places.
Did you see an opportunity and say, aha, there's a loophole there?
People have to eat. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's not like we found the loophole
Uh-huh.
because it's not an easy market to go into, especially because there are a lot of big players. You can't compete with Chicken Inn.
Yeah.
But there are things Chicken Inn doesn't do that you can improve on.
Oh,
You see.
okay.
Luckily, with the marketing ability that we've got,
Yeah.
it's very simple and it's very easy to be able to bring people over and bring them into this world.
Were you not scared to come in a space where there is chicken in, which are doing well, where there's chicken slice? Were you not scared to be in that space?
I think over time, the fan base that my dad has grown
Yeah.
is almost willing to follow him anywhere. So in terms of actual people coming through, that wasn't the issue. But the issue was just creating a standard that we've hyped this place up for a really long time. So the issue was meeting the people's expectations. That's where the fear was. We've talked about since 2023. That's when we started posting about it. So people always knew that something like this was coming about.
Yeah.
My only fear was that if we don't produce what people are expecting, or the level at which people are expecting the standard to be, then we can tarnish the reputation. That's where my only issue was. Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 18.
18?
Yeah.
Bro. 18 years. And you're doing this
Yeah.
with your dad.
Yes.
So who is in charge, especially in this side, you or your dad?
There are different types of decisions that can be done here.
Uh-huh.
There are organizational level decisions where we can decide to open a door over here, for example,
Yeah.
that changes the structure of the business. That we talk about and that we decide on. But the manageable things that I think I've got the knowledge to decide on, I go ahead and do that. Obviously, my experience is not that vast yet, so
Yeah.
a lot of the bigger things we talk about and he helps me out on. Yeah.
So how's business so far? Seems like most of your time you're here.
Yeah, I'm here a lot, but so far we're doing very well. We're doing very well. This is our second week and there's no one in here right now.
Were you expecting these numbers when you were planning all this?
Not this early on. Not this early on. And also, we're at a stage right now where we're trying to optimize all of our systems. So we're not really pushing it to the people as much. That's why we don't do a lot of promotions.
Why?
Because we're trying to optimize our quality and our customer service.
Oh, okay.
So once we start doing promotions, then obviously our volumes are going to go up.
Yeah.
But if our system is not set in place yet to be able to withstand those volumes, then mess ups happen and then the name goes down. So as for right now, the volumes are manageable, and we expected these volumes, but we are hoping for larger numbers as time goes on. As we start gaining information, we start knowing what we're doing, we're gonna get new people to come through.
So I know now, if we are to talk about the numbers, let's say the returns, it's not yet visible. It's not something that we can really look at and say,
Yeah.
this is lucrative. Maybe you guys have done some research. Do you think that this side of business is lucrative from your perspective?
Yes,
It is.
for sure. But it becomes lucrative at the scale that we want it to be once you've found your footing in the industry. Because if we're gonna be honest, every other canteen
Yeah.
makes a profit.
Uh-huh.
Every corner chicken shop or salsa shop makes a profit. But at the level at which we want to be making money,
Yeah.
and at the level at which we'll be investing, we won't be able to reach those lucrative levels until we reach the proper.
Okay. Well, what is the proper number? Let's say outlets. How many outlets do you guys want to reach and say, starting from this number, maybe we might be making something that is good?
I don't have a figure for us to be comfortable.
Yeah.
But the goal is by 2030 we should have 50 outlets.
Wow.
By
50?
2030, yeah.
Bro, that's like all over Zimbabwe.
All over Zimbabwe, yes, for sure.
So what are the challenges that you have faced, you guys, especially when you were planning, strategizing, and even implementing to a level where you are right now?
So it's a very investment-heavy business. I'd like
Capital
to say
intensive.
Yes, it's very capital intensive. The easier part is finding people to come actually doing the selling, but the difficult part is
Yeah.
the whole researching about equipment,
Oh,
bringing
okay.
the equipment over from overseas and everything. That becomes very, financially difficult. But luckily, we have other good establishments that we're able to carry over. So I think that maybe that's why people don't really enter this market, because you need to be really financially strong to start
Yeah.
something like this.
Oh, you need to be financially strong.
Yeah, I'd like to say so.
Diaspora community, come close a little bit. This is for you. Are you tired of being scammed every time that you send money back home for those who are on the ground to do a certain project for you? As a content creator, I've heard a lot of stories where someone who is in the diaspora sends money back home for a project, and those who are managing the project take some of the money and put it in their pocket. Instead of buying quality material, they buy substandard material for your project, which is something that is really disappointing in the long run. So I found a solution for you, my people. I'm collaborating with a company called My Ground Crew. This is how it works. The platform is solving two problems: that of a diaspora community doing projects back home, and that of service providers in Africa. If you are in the diaspora, for example, let's say you want to build a house, what you can do is sign up for free on My Ground Crew website. Once you sign up, you fill in every detail of your project you want to do, and this gives you an opportunity to interact with service providers that come up there. And also note, there will be a list of service providers there, and at the same time you can also filter, which is really good. So this gives you an opportunity to choose who you want to work with. These service providers are thoroughly checked by the company My Ground Crew, and the best part is that you You pay on the platform directly to my ground crew, and the service providers are paid by my ground crew. This is done to ensure transparency and fairness to both the client and the service provider. The best part is wherever you are in Africa, it could be South Africa, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, you can use my ground crew. And my ground crew is there to help you to make sure that your project is managed very well and that you're connected to the best service providers.
So I want to talk about your dad. When I'm looking at a man like him, he's an inspiration.
Yeah.
And he has done a lot for people, for Zimbabwe in general.
Yeah.
Like I said, I met your dad 4 years ago. I was a cameraman for this other guy, Saint TV, and he was interviewing him. So for your dad to give content creators like us an opportunity like that 4 years ago,
Yeah.
it was big. You stay with him. What is his day like?
As of recent,
Yeah.
it's become extremely busy. Extremely busy because he's shifted away from
Yeah.
the dream entrepreneur life where you just pass it on to everyone else and
Yeah.
you tell people that I want this done.
Yeah.
And then, but these days, my dad wakes up about 6 o'clock, goes for a run, comes back. He jets out. Usually goes to school with my little brother and sister.
Yeah. He takes them to school.
Yeah, he takes
Himself.
himself every day, and then he's off to the office
Every day.
every day.
That, bro, I'm just saying, like, for a man like him at his level,
Yeah.
people don't expect him to do those errands.
Of course, but if you saw the interview with Ola,
Yeah.
he talked about how at this stage in his life, all he cares about is his family, and I've noticed that to be true. Like when I was in junior school, he took me to school every day, and as things got busier, he started, delegating those duties.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact those are core memories I have, and he has as well. So that's why he's shifted back into taking them to school, because he wants to spend as much time as he can with us.
Seems like he wants to instill something in
Yes,
his kids.
For sure.
What is it that you have learned from your father in an area where family is involved? Like something that you admire. Say, if I'm going to start my own family, these are the things that I've learned from my father, and I'm going to do those things.
Observing other families, I see that fathers are some of them are unapproachable,
Yeah.
but also some just cannot admit that they are wrong. And I think that's a fault in men in general. Our egos don't allow us to admit that we are wrong in times where we are wrong. But I can have an argument with my dad, and at some point, maybe he's very confident in his points, and I'm also very confident. And then we reach a certain point where we realize either one of us is wrong. It's not shameful to admit, you're right, I made a mistake. But he's very approachable, and he's not afraid to admit that he's wrong where he's wrong. He's not afraid to admit he doesn't know either. I think he uses AI more than I do in terms of research. He sits down for hours researches where he doesn't know.
The Ola interview, you spoke about reading books.
Yeah,
Do you do the same?
yeah, I do. This book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's the first book he told me to read.
How to what?
How to Win Friends and
Yeah.
Influence People by Dale Carnegie. That book basically tells you how to maneuver and converse with people, especially in the business setup. And it's an extremely important skill because in a place like this,
Yeah.
there's two ways where your subordinates could listen to you. The first is if you're here shouting at them, telling them what to do.
Yeah.
And the second is if they want to do it. And the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, helps you make them feel like they want to do it by actually making them feel important, which is a skill a leader needs.
Wow.
So instead of a cashier forcing a good morning, they know that this is my POS machine, this is my post where I have to do the best I can for this business because I want to do the best I can.
How many businesses is your father running?
I can't tell you. I have no idea.
So which means there are many.
There's a new one every day, I promise you. And there's some that came about years ago that I haven't heard about but are still functioning. That's how vast it is.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's a self-made millionaire, if you ask me.
Yes, he is.
Did he ever told you how life was when he was young. And the reason why I'm asking this, there are certain people who grow in money and they will always have pride because they have it. But in your case, you always try to do things in a certain way that even if your father is to look at you, you say, I'm proud of my son. Even everyone, if I'm to be honest, when everyone is looking at you, people would say, this child is raised right. So did he ever told you something that made you to say, you know what, I'm gonna pay attention to my dad?
This is a very funny story. One time in grade 3,
Yeah,
my dad just bought the Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
The Apple Watch.
Yeah.
That's the first Apple Watch the Mutarisi family had ever seen. The first ever.
Yeah,
And he was wearing it one day, and we had just arrived at school.
yeah.
And I asked him to take it to school. I was like, can I please wear this watch? And he said no. I was like, okay. I asked him again the next day. He said no. I think he said no for like 3 days straight. And then one day, I was like, why are you not giving me? Or something like that. I don't remember exactly what my words were. And then he's like, you just want to go and brag to your friends.
Yes.
And then that's what he said at school, obviously. And then the next day, he then gave me. He's like, you know what, here you go, take it. I remember taking it to school and not doing anything on it or not interacting with it at all.
Yeah.
But for the first 5 minutes, I showed my friends. I showed them. I was like, guys, look at my watch. Look at my watch, guys. And all of them were like, wow, wow. And then it was over. And then he's like, you see, I told you. But I hadn't said anything to him. And from that day on, he used to call me Mr. Bragger.
He used to call you
He used
that?
to call me Mr. Bragger. And I remember, and it used to annoy me so much because, you know, it's not a good name to be given. And I just stopped. Anything to do with the showing off, I just stopped. And then I got to a point where I realized that it really doesn't matter. Because people's opinions about you, first of all, they're their own. They can't affect you in any way.
Okay.
And people's opinions that have to do with you having money
Yeah.
or any materialistic things
Yeah.
are not about you, but about the things you have. So it taught me that a person's real worth is on the inside, not about the things they have. You could lose everything or you could have everything, but what really matters is who you are on the inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I know you're 18, but there are certain things that you have learned from your father. And even if your father is not in the picture, if you have to start your own thing, you can start your own thing. From your own perspective, what is business? From your own definition?
Business is identifying a need, gathering the resources to fix those needs for a financial gain.
For a financial
For a
gain.
financial gain. It's not a charity. It's a business. Yeah.
It's a business.
Yes.
Bro, what do you think that people are doing wrong in the business space as an 18-year-old, from your own perspective?
I think a lot of people's customer service is very bad. And one thing my dad told me like 4 or 5 days ago was a customer is not one that comes in for the first time, but one that comes in again and again for the second, third, fourth, and fifth time. And that's only, retained customers are only gotten by the way you treat them, not necessarily the quality of your product. Because the food that we're serving here, you could equally get food as good maybe down the road or somewhere else. But you choose where you want to go because of how they treated you. And a lot of businesses or establishments neglect that part, maybe focus just on the product.
Customer service is very important.
It's amazing.
It makes the whole difference.
Exactly.
Now you wrote your A-levels, you're waiting for your results. How are you going to balance the two? Are you going to university?
Not as of yet, no.
What do you mean?
For the first few years, I'll be learning hands-on completely. Anything I need to know in terms of business-wise, will be
Skills.
hands-on. Yeah. And I'm open to acquiring higher education when needed. You know, there are courses you can take and there are...
Courses?
Yeah.
You're not mentioning a degree, rather you're mentioning certain courses that you're going to do.
I would have to look into specific, you know, entrepreneurial degrees with the knowledge I feel like I need.
Yeah.
But in terms of courses, I'm talking about maybe just a financial accounting course
Yeah.
where I feel like maybe I need that information as of right now. That's when I'll do something like that, you know?
I've noticed I'm a university dropout.
Okay.
I was doing social work and I deferred in my third year because of financial problems at home.
Okay.
But then when I was there, I figured that I was doing YouTube. I was paying attention to YouTube more than the actual degree that I was doing, which means I loved the content creation. I loved anything to do with cameras,
Yeah.
but not the actual degree that I'm doing. At the end of the day, I told myself like, this degree, I just chose it because people were choosing it.
Yeah.
Because everyone was, I was going to university because everyone was going there. Do you think that there is now a pandemic where young people just don't care about the kind of program they are going to do at university, from your own perspective?
I don't think it's a now thing. I think it's always been there. I feel like, especially with the African mindset and parents who believe that a degree means success, kids from a very young age are pressured to being in a funnel. Everyone from wherever part of life you come from, whichever part of your life you come from, all get funneled into one straight line.
Yeah,
Preschool,
exactly.
primary school, high school, university,
Very true.
job.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that is the normal way to go on. And sometimes when you don't have a passion, or when your passion is not orthodox, like YouTube, you know, it's not a very big market. It's getting bigger in this
It's getting
country.
bigger now, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But like, it's not something where
yeah,
people from a young age are told it's
Exactly.
an option.
exactly.
You see, that's literally a breakaway from the norm.
Tinashe, people are always going to talk about nepotism when they look at you and you're dead. Does that not bother you to that level? Because at the end of the day, you started the business at 18. One way or the other, you're going to be successful.
Okay.
Because your dad have already connected some dots
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Is it not, does that not bother you much when people are talking about it the way they do?
In any aspect in life, if you've got an advantage, you'd want to share it to the people closest to you.
Yeah, exactly.
No matter who it is, unless but if you're a normal functioning human being,
Yeah,
whichever advantage you have, you'd like to share it with the person closest to you. And I feel like my dad saw it that way. But a lot of businesses fail when passed to the second generation because of lack of preparation.
bro,
Yeah,
especially here in Africa.
you see. And I feel like I've been adequately prepared for this level of business that I am. A lot of people say you've just been handed things, but
Yeah.
I can guarantee that most people, having been given this same position, same
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
might not be handling it as well as I am.
True.
So it doesn't bother me.